In the silent hours before dawn on October 17, 2024, the skies above Yemen bore witness to a ghost. There was no roar, no flash, no warning, only devastation. This was not an ordinary airstrike. It was the arrival of the B-2 Spirit, the United States' $2 billion stealth bomber, often referred to as the Phantom of the Air Force. And for the first time in history, it had entered Yemeni airspace. With near-perfect stealth and chilling precision, the B-2 Spirit launched a surprise strike on 5 underground Houthi rebel weapon depots located near the capital, Sana'a, and the northern stronghold of Sada. Equipped with GPS-guided munitions, the Spirit delivered its deadly cargo without detection or interception. The attack was so surgical that no casualties were reported, despite the destruction of significant military assets. But why use a bomber that's rarely deployed, especially against insurgents with limited air defense capabilities? That question has analysts worldwide paying close attention. With only 19 B-2s in active service, each requiring extreme maintenance and costing billions, these bombers are rarely used unless the stakes are extraordinarily high. Their primary mission is to penetrate heavily fortified enemy defenses, not to strike guerrilla forces with handheld weapons. So what message was Washington sending? The answer may lie beneath the surface, literally and geopolitically. The Houthis, backed by Iran, had recently intensified their aggression, launching missile and drone attacks on U.S. and allied naval forces in the Red Sea and Gulf of Aden, threatening global shipping routes that handled nearly 10% of the world's trade, including oil supplies to Europe and Asia. This wasn't just a response to regional rebels. This was a warning to Tehran. The B-2 Spirit is not just a warplane, it's a symbol of strategic dominance. Flying at altitudes over 50,000 feet, with a range exceeding 7,000 miles and a payload capacity of up to 40,000 pounds, the B-2 can strike anywhere on Earth without detection. Its iconic flying wing design gives it an almost mythical level of invisibility. Its radar cross-section is less than that of a bird, thanks to anti-reflective coatings and cutting-edge materials engineering. On October 17th, the Spirit wasn't just attacking underground weapons, it was demonstrating that no bunker is too deep, no facility too secure, especially not with the GBU-57 Massive Ordnance Penetrator MOP on board, a 30,000-pound bomb capable of smashing through layers of fortified concrete. This wasn't the first time the B-2 had made history. In Kosovo, Afghanistan, Iraq, and now Yemen, the Spirit has shown time and again its ability to redefine warfare. With just 2 crew members, a pilot and a mission commander, the aircraft can fly missions lasting more than 40 hours, sometimes halfway around the globe and back without refueling. Its first real test came in 1999 during the Kosovo conflict, when it destroyed 1/3 of all targets despite making up a fraction of the coalition's air power. Then came Afghanistan in 2001 and Iraq in 2003, where it delivered massive payloads to cripple enemy defenses in the opening moments of war. Each time, the B-2 proved that wars can be won or ended before boots ever hit the ground. While the Pentagon insists the Yemen strike was a tactical operation, U.S. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin revealed the deeper layer of intent. This operation is not limited to Yemen, but is a clear demonstration of our ability to detect and destroy facilities that our adversaries consider invulnerable. These words, while not naming names, appear directed squarely at Iran, whose underground nuclear facilities, such as Natanz, are now deeper and more fortified than ever before. With uranium enrichment levels reaching 83.7% and enough material to potentially build several bombs, Iran's nuclear ambitions are accelerating. The Spirit's deployment in Yemen signals more than retaliation. It's a strategic display of reach, precision, and dominance. Satellite imagery has even revealed 6 B-2 bombers now stationed at Diego Garcia, a critical U.S. base in the Indian Ocean, placing them well within striking range of Iran. This is not just about rebel bunkers, it's a geopolitical chess move designed to remind adversaries that even the deepest tunnels and strongest bunkers are no match for American air power. And in the not-so-distant future, the B-21 Raider, the B-2's successor, will take to the skies, offering even more stealth, automation, and lethality. But until then, the B-2 Spirit remains the ultimate ghost of war, haunting the enemies of the United States from above, striking without warning and vanishing into the clouds before a response can be mounted. In a world increasingly on edge due to evolving global threats, the United States has been quietly preparing for scenarios most of us can't even imagine. Amid the chaos of decoys, spent engines, and metal fragments cluttering the skies during high-stakes drills, one system never loses sight of its objective: the AN/TPY-2 radar. Designed to detect and track ballistic missile threats with precision, this advanced radar cuts through the noise using complex signal processing and high-speed computing to differentiate real threats from distractions. During a secretive military drill, a simulated ballistic missile streaked across the Pacific skies. As it entered the mid-course phase of its trajectory, an SM-3 Block 2IA interceptor missile was launched from Guam. Traveling at a mind-blowing 10,000 miles per hour, it locked onto its target. But rather than exploding nearby, the SM-3's kinetic warhead adjusted mid-flight, striking the incoming missile directly in a stunning display of technological supremacy. This wasn't just a test. It was a message. The U.S. missile defense system is more advanced and more prepared than ever before. The AN/TPY-2 radar system, at the heart of this operation, is a key component of global missile defense. By emitting electromagnetic waves and analyzing the reflected signals, the system determines the location, speed, and trajectory of incoming threats. Crucially, it can distinguish between real warheads and harmless debris, ensuring that precious interceptor missiles are never wasted. In 2013, the U.S. Department of Defense estimated the cost of a single AN/TPY-2 radar array at around $500 million. But with its unmatched capabilities, the price is justified. Fast forward to 2020, and Raytheon, one of America's top defense contractors, landed a $2.3 billion deal to deliver the first enhanced AN/TPY-2 radar system to Saudi Arabia. Then in 2021, the U.S. Missile Defense Agency doubled down, investing another $243.2 million to expand its arsenal. These eye-watering figures aren't just numbers, they're a reflection of the radar's value in maintaining global security. But why is Guam, a small U.S. island territory in the Pacific, playing such a central role? The answer lies in geography. Guam sits just 2,000 miles from both North Korea and China, making it a strategic stronghold far closer to potential threats than the U.S. mainland. In the face of escalating tensions, especially as North Korea conducts more aggressive missile tests, Guam has become the centerpiece of America's Pacific defense strategy. In February 2025, the world watched in alarm as North Korea launched a strategic cruise missile with a reported range of 930 miles and a top speed of Mach 12 using solid fuel for faster deployment. This marked Pyongyang's most significant test since Donald Trump returned to the presidency. Though no damage occurred, the message was clear. North Korea is rapidly expanding its capabilities, potentially with Russian assistance. The U.S. cannot afford to be complacent. To fortify Guam, it first deployed the Patriot missile defense system, capable of engaging airborne threats up to 99 miles away at speeds exceeding Mach 5. Equipped with high-explosive warheads and proximity fuses, the Patriot is a formidable tool in America's arsenal. But even this wasn't enough. To counter ballistic missiles in their final, most dangerous stage of flight, the U.S. brought in another layer of defense: Aegis Ashore. Originally designed for warships, the Aegis system combines powerful SPY radar arrays, SM-series missiles, and advanced fire control software. By transplanting this technology to land, limitations like power constraints and antenna size were eliminated, allowing the U.S. to deploy larger radars and more robust launch platforms. In 2024, the U.S. Navy officially activated the Aegis Ashore installation in Guam. This system uses both SM-3 and SM-6 missiles. The former intercepts ballistic missiles in space, while the latter can neutralize low-flying threats across wide ranges. In December of that year, the first live test of this system proved its capabilities in a spectacular fashion. solidifying Guam's transformation into a heavily fortified island. But defense doesn't stop at Guam's shores. Across the region, a complex web of systems supports the overarching strategy. In South Korea, the U.S. military deployed the THAAD missile defense system, operated in part by the 35th Air Defense Artillery Brigade. Meanwhile, the South Korean Navy deploys Sejong-class destroyers armed with Aegis radar and Standard missiles, forming a maritime shield against regional threats. Japan, too, has embraced Aegis-equipped destroyers, fielding 8 vessels across the Kongo, Otago, and Maya classes. Though Japan initially scrapped plans for a land-based Aegis system due to concerns about rocket booster debris near civilian areas, it now partners with the U.S. to design 2 22,000-ton mega destroyers, each capable of housing nearly 200 vertical launch tubes. This ambitious military coordination doesn't just demonstrate deterrence, it shows resolve. From Pearl Harbor to San Diego and Everett, a carefully planned rotation of missile defense ships ensures constant patrol in the South China Sea and around the Korean Peninsula. These ships don't act alone. They're part of a broader strategy that includes the powerful presence of the U.S. Air Force operating from Guam's Andersen Air Force Base. The Air Force deploys strategic bombers like the B-52 and B-2 on a rotational basis. These aircraft can deliver long-range attacks using missiles like the AGM-86B, capable of striking targets nearly 1,500 miles away without ever entering enemy airspace. Combined with aerial refueling capabilities and extended-range missile systems like the AGM-158JASSM, the U.S. maintains unmatched strike capability across the Pacific. Stay tuned for the next half, where we'll explore how this entire network functions as a unified force to defend U.S. interests in the Indo-Pacific, and what's coming next in the escalating military chess game between global powers.